A monster on a mountain, it's cold, silent, and you're the only one climbing it. That is the story I wanted to share. Hi, if you're new, my name is Renee. I'm the host of the Looks Creepy Cool podcast and the owner of Haunted House FearFest, an immersive horror film and video game festival. I love horror folklore from all different parts of the world, and I came across this story, Ben MacDhui's A Mountain, and it's a Scottish folklore horror story. And I was inspired by it. And so the story that you're about to hear, called The Footsteps Behind You, is inspired by this horror folklore. I produced the episode, so I hope you enjoy it. And also, just a little bit of a warning, I do have a co-host that lives inside the haunted house, and she likes to pop in from time to time. She is the woman in the walls. I like to call her a witch demon, but hey, she's part of the house. So I hope you to enjoy tonight's episode. What is that?
Just moving things around.
That's the same sound I heard last week. Is that a house guest?
Maybe, but I'll tell you after the story.
Welcome to the house. Some places don't need ghosts. The mountain is enough. In the Scottish Highlands, there's a mountain where people hear footsteps behind them, even when nobody is there.
It follows people who walk alone.
Deep in Scotland's Cairngorm Mountains stands Ben MacDhui, cold, silent, covered in fog, thick enough to erase the world around you. The mountain has another name, hidden inside its folklore. Fair Lee Umor, the big gray man. Some say it's a spirit. Some say it's a shadow. Others believe the mountain itself is alive. But almost everyone describes the same thing, the footsteps. In October of 1998, a documentary photographer named Isla McLeod climbed Ben MacDhui alone. She wanted photographs before winter arrived, fog rolling across the peaks, the silence of the highlands, the kind of images that make people feel small. She reached the mountain just before sunrise. No other hikers, no voices, no movement except the wind. At first, the mountain felt peaceful. But then, she noticed it an hour into the climb. One extra footstep. Not ahead of her, behind her. She stopped walking. The sound stopped too. She waited. Nothing. So, she kept climbing. And then it returned. One extra step, matching her pace perfectly.
Don't stop moving.
At first, Isla told herself it was an echo. The mountains can distort sound. Fog can distort distance. Fear can distort everything. But then she realized something worse. The footsteps only existed when she moved. When she stopped, the mountain went silent. When she walked again, something walked with her. The fog became heavier near the summit. She could barely see a few feet ahead. The world disappeared into white. Then, Isla heard breathing. Not her own. Slow, heavy, too deep to belong to a person. She turned around. Nothing. But the feeling stayed. Something enormous was standing inside the fog. Isla carried a small audio recorder in her backpack. She often recorded wind and mountain sounds for her projects. So she switched it on. She whispered into the microphone, "If someone finds this, I think there's someone else up here with me." And then the footsteps started again. But this time, they were closer.
The mountain already saw her.
She saw it only once, a shape moving inside the fog, too tall to be human. Long gray limbs, a silhouette towering over the rocks. And then it disappeared. But the breathing didn't. People who speak about the gray man often describe the same thing: an overwhelming terror, a panic so intense it forces them to run. That's exactly what happened to Isla. She dropped her camera, her gloves, everything except the recorder. And she ran. But no matter how fast she moved, the footsteps behind her stayed perfectly in rhythm. 2 days later, search teams found Isla's backpack near the lower trail. The recorder inside was still running. At first, there was only wind, footsteps, breathing. Then, Isla's voice. "It stopped following me." And then, another set of footsteps, much closer than before. Isla MacLeod was never found. Some hikers still refuse to climb Ben MacDhui alone, not because of the cold, not because of the fog, but because sometimes they hear footsteps behind them, matching their own. And the mountain never sounds empty. Thank you for listening to tonight's episode. If you're an author with a story to tell, submit it at lookscreepycool.com for consideration inside the house. And if there's a legend you think belongs here, leave it in the comments below. The house is always listening. And remember, if it looks creepy, it must be cool. Follow the fear. The house is waiting. Want more chills and chatter? We're streaming on all podcast platforms.